evening and welcome back to Caps 13. After a beautiful weekend, us and the rest of the Midwest got hit with some winter storms that no one was ready for. With snow, ice, and wind that made it feel below freezing, we've had to adjust quickly. However, in true Kansas fashion, we are going to be experiencing sunny weather in the mid to high 50s with no rain in the forecast. All that and more on Caps 13.
Coming up on Caps 13 News, Pitt State holds a Veterans Day event to honor our troops. Plus, some Pitt State film students spend 48 hours to create a short film. And basketball season has officially kicked off. We'll have highlights from weekend action from the Gorillas. All that and more on Caps 13 News.
Caps 13 News, I'm Jared Bush.
And I'm Libby Frazier.
The next community blood drive is scheduled on Tuesday, November 19th and Wednesday, November 20th at the First United Methodist Church, 415th and North Pine Street. The hours for donation are 1:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Tuesday and 8:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. on Wednesday. Appointments can be made at www.redcrossblood.org. However, walk-in donors are always welcome. Blood supplies are extremely low this year because of an active flu season and a variety of natural disasters causing many blood drives to be canceled, a release said. Parking is available in the church's lot across from the west entrance.
32,000 pints of blood are used each day. 1 pint of blood can save exactly 3 patients' lives, and it takes only 3 seconds for someone to need a pint of blood.
The annual Veterans Day ceremony was held on Monday at the Pitt State Rec Center. Students and members of the community were able to honor United States veterans from the community, as well as those who serve around the world. The ceremony featured speakers such as PSU President Dr. Steve Scott and Major Kavan Stool of the U.S. Army. In addition, there were performances from the Pittsburg High School and Pittsburg Middle School choirs. ROTC student Esperanza Deterting also spoke at the ceremony. She described what she wanted people to learn and understand from attending the event.
I really wish that they were moved, and by all the speeches and all the stories, and just know how relatable we are. The military isn't some monster that you can't talk to or be intimidated by. Like, we're pretty friendly people. Like, I love talking to people.
The Axe Library hosted an academic success workshop on Wednesday, teaching students how to better prepare for finals week and final exams. The seminar was led by student counselor Ashley Waddell. She instructed the students on skills related to studying and time management, as well as how to deal with stress and anxiety during finals week. Waddell believes that students should start preparing now for final exams so that they'll be ready for the tests in their classes.
Because there's a lot that students can start doing now that will really help them when it comes time to take their final exams. So a lot of it has to do with managing your time, knowing what you need to know for your finals, and that way you can start now so you're not having to run around like crazy and try to do everything during dead week and finals week.
Did you know that there are different options of university housing for students close to campus? Some of the options that are close to campus are Dillinger, Nation, Tanner, Trout, and Willard. These are all shared with a roommate in the bathroom between 10 people. They are good options to live close to classes. Another option is the Crimson Commons, which was the newest dorm before the construction of Block 22. It's an apartment shared by 4, but where you have your own room and only share the common area and the bathroom. Inez, resident of Crimson Commons, explains how life is in the dorms.
Yes, and I'm an exchange student coming from France, and I'm living on Crimson Commons on campus. Crimson Commons is really the best place you could ever live on because not only you have your own room and you only have to share an apartment with 4 people, you share the bathroom, the sinks, the kitchen, and the living room. On the other opportunities on the campus, you have to share either your room with someone else or even the bathroom with more than 10 people. So Crimson Commons is really the best place to live on.
Last weekend was the 4 Points Film Project, and a group of students put their filmmaking skills to the test. The 4 Points Film Project challenges participants to write, shoot, and edit a 4 to 7 minute short film in just a span of 3 days. Students Bailey Nolan, Nate Vanderpool, and Cody Renfro decided to take on the challenge along with the help of other Pitt State teachers and students. Cody Renfro had this to say about his role in the process and the ups and downs of the competition.
I really enjoyed just the fact that I got to really focus on just one thing about the film at a time. And so for me, I really enjoy cinematography. And so for me, that was my main job with the set, was just to focus on cinematography. What kind of shots do I want to get? What is the kind of look that we're aiming for? What kind of color are we wanting the feel of the movie to have? So that was really enjoyable. And also it was fun to get to hang out with the crew and get to know those guys on a little deeper level. Definitely what was the hardest thing was just trying to balance sleep and working on the film, because you only have 3 days. And so at this point it becomes, what do I value more, finishing the film or sleeping? And so a lot of times sleeping took the back door to editing or writing the script, things like that. It challenges you to get out of your comfort zone, because what's fun is you don't really know what your genre of a movie is going to be. You don't know the character. You don't know what kind of dialogue that you're going to have in there. So for me, it's a really good challenge to grow myself and to think and to learn on the fly, and to just try and produce something that I'm going to be proud of in as short amount of time as I possibly can.
If you thought the addition of Block 22 was something special, just imagine what Pittsburg, Kansas will look like in 2030. In 2010, business, education, and community leaders in Pittsburgh identified a need for citizen-driven visioning effort to strategically address the community's opportunities and challenges through the year 2030. This effort is called Imagine Pittsburgh 2030. The effort is focusing on 4 different aspects of the community: housing, economic development, infrastructure, and public wellness. With 2020 around the corner and Pittsburgh growing, the city will grow exponentially in the next 10 years. We'll be right back with more on Caps 13 News.
Live from the White Sit Hall studios on the campus of Pittsburg State University in Pittsburg, Kansas, you're watching Caps 13 News at 4.
You're going to need me. You're going to need us. All of us. You're going to need our help with your water, your air, your food. You're going to need our determination, our compassion. You're going to need the next generation of leaders to face the challenges the future will bring. And we promise we'll be there when you need us.
I'm always the first one up. I'm always up for a challenge. I'll overcome any obstacle. I don't believe in limits. I refuse to be average.
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service, it's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
I've got a lot of things on my mind. Some things might make you laugh, some things might make you cry, some things might even compromise national security. Why is the internet so obsessed with cats? Hashtag dogs are better. Sorry, but it's true. I can't wait for my trip to Vegas this week, and hashtag Friday can't get here fast enough. Have a nice trip. I hate my job. My boss is such a Oh, crap.
The Grammy Award-winning Third Coast Percussion, a percussion quartet based out of Chicago, is coming to Pittsburg State November 22nd. They are performing at the McCray Music Building. Tickets are free to full-time students with a valid PSU ID. Individual tickets for the public are $12 and $8 for people over 65 or under 18. For more info, contact 620-235-4466. Ticket sales have begun for Pippin, an iconic musical being produced this fall by PHS Theater at Memorial Auditorium. With an infectiously unforgettable score from the 4-time Grammy winner, 3-time Oscar winner, and musical theater giant Stephen Schwartz, Pippin is the story of one young man's journey to be extraordinary. Tickets can be purchased online at www.memorialauditorium.org or by calling the box office at 620-231-7827 Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. or in person at 503 North Pine Street during business hours. The performance will be 7:30 p.m. November 15th and 16th and 2 p.m. November 16th and 17th. Fans were ecstatic to see Moscow Ballet's Great Russian Nutcracker. They thrilled the audience with many different performances and had over 100 local children to perform with them side by side. They have been doing this since 1993 and traveled to many different places, wowing crowds across the globe. On Thursday, November 7th, the Pittsburgh Police Department conducted a normal traffic stop, which later turned into a drugs and guns seized. The driver of the vehicle, 38-year-old Keith Massey, refused a request of the detective to step out of his vehicle and was observed reaching towards the underside of his seat. The detective then discharged on Massey, which allowed the officers to make a quick arrest. Officers found a loaded gun and a series of different types of drugs packaged for distribution inside the car. Massey is currently on parole with the Missouri Department of Corrections. The investigation is currently still going on, and anyone with any information involved in this case is asked to contact the Pittsburgh Police Department at 620-231-1700.
The Kansas Big Brothers and Sisters serving Crawford County, Kansas are hosting their second annual Brews and Bites. Brews and Bites will be held on Thursday, November 21st, 2019 at the Barn at Timber Cove from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. The event brings friends and colleagues together to enjoy samples of the best craft beers and food creations from local restaurants. Brews and Bites raises funds for children living in adversity in the Crawford County area. Temperatures keep dropping and winter is right around the corner. Although winter comes as no surprise, many of us are not ready for its arrival. With temperatures already getting to points as low as 20 degrees, it's a good time to remind you at home how to stay healthy and safe during the season. Remember to check your heating systems at home and make sure they're clean and working properly. And don't forget to inspect as well as clean your fireplaces and chimneys. Keep blankets in your car in case for emergencies, and remember to stay 2 car lengths behind to avoid any collisions or accidents. But most importantly, remember to enjoy the weather now before it only gets worse.
Libby will be back after the break with your weather.
Slow down, check your surroundings, put down your phone, and be sure to use caution when using the crosswalk. 5,000 people are killed every year on the road, and someone is getting injured every 7 minutes. Drivers are just as much at fault when it comes to accidents. Be alert at intersections and keep your foot on the brake in busy public places. Don't let your community be a part of the rising statistics.
My name is Carly, I'm 15 years old and I am a heart recipient. I got my first heart transplant when I was 1.5 years old. I got my second heart when I was 13. When I step out on stage, I think I'm communicating with people. I would like to tell them that I want to make a change in life. Like, yeah, you can have 2 heart transplants, but that doesn't stop you from doing the things that you love. When I get my driver's license, of course I'm going to say yes to be an organ donor because I've been saved twice. So who says I can't save somebody else? It's just the beginning of a new story.
This gift of life was made possible by an organ donor. Imagine what you could make possible. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
Hey Gorilla Nation, this is Stu Height, Chief of Police here at Pittsburg State. Hope you're off to a great semester, and we want to just give you a couple of reminders of how to take care of your valuables. Please don't ever leave them unattended for any length of time at all. We live on a very safe campus and a very safe community, but you can never be too safe. So if you ever need anything, if you have any questions, any concerns about anything ranging from parking or just safety and security, please feel free to call us anytime, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Go Gorillas!
Well, if there were ever a perfect example of stereotypical Kansas weather, this week would be it. The past few days have really felt like Jack Frost was biting at all of our noses. After a gorgeous weekend, it's hard to believe that Monday was 22 degrees almost all day, going down more than 40 degrees in 24 hours. Don't fear though, because the rest of this week, this weekend, and the beginning of next week are going to have us rejoicing, at least for a little bit. Today was 46 degrees with our high being 49 and our low being 27. It's been mostly sunny all day, which has made it so incredibly nice. It's a beautiful day to go outside. Tomorrow our high is 53 with a low of 29, and Saturday for our last home game the high is 57 with a low of 38, and it's going to be sunny skies. We have some pretty beautiful high temperatures coming up, but there is a huge number gap between the highs and lows, so to risk sounding repetitive, please make sure you are layering up and making sure you're as warm as possible. While we didn't get a whole lot of rain or other precipitation after Monday, there's still some ice on the ground, and I want to talk about that as well as give you kind of a rundown of what happened on Monday. So basically what we're looking at right now is residual water as well as precipitation in surrounding areas and what they've gotten. There's definitely still some icy spots on the road, so be cognizant of that, as well as making sure your tires are filled up, since different temperatures can really screw with your air pressure. Really, what happened on Monday is we had some snow, but the wind was whipping it back up into the sky and refreezing it, so it was more like freezing rain, but we still had some snow stick on the ground, as I'm sure you've seen around town and campus. That was going on all day and even into Monday night, leaving it cold and dreary for our Tuesday. Since we haven't had a whole lot of storm activity since Monday, we really don't have a lot to talk about here other than the tiny little storm cells that we see here. With how small they are, and not to mention how far away, we really don't have anything to worry about for now, thankfully. The weather seems to finally have given us a break, which we deserve after the past few bitterly cold days. Here, we're just looking at some ground clutter and a few icy spots on the road that just haven't melted yet, but still nothing out of the ordinary. If I could give any advice as to how to react to this weather, it would be this. Disney Plus just came out. Either get it or find someone who has it, curl up with some hot cocoa, and reminisce on the good old days. There is nothing better to do when it's cold and dreary than to relax watching Disney movies and shows. But if you have to go out, stay warm and stay safe. That's all I have for weather today. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you back here next week.
Hello. Some people like to watch too much TV or get on the computer too much. And other people look at their phone way too long. And other people, they like to do drugs. But some people, they're invested in the more important things in life, like reading a good family-friendly book by yourself or with your family. But either way, don't do those bad things that I mentioned earlier and read a book.
I saw, dude.
OMG, dude, I have the most epic idea for a story. We're gonna go ham with the fam on this one.
Beast mode! BT dubs, this headline is gonna be so cray-cray. Lit.
That's so dope.
I am so proud of you guys. Hashtag blessed.
Are y'all gonna take your job seriously?
We'll show you.
Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for coming to help me study for this test. It's gonna be a real tough one here, I can guarantee it. So,
guys, I'm kind of hungry, and it is Tuesday. Couldn't we get some tacos?
Tacos? I hate Mexican food. Why don't we try something a little less bold? Like subs.
Subs? That's literally the worst idea you've ever thought of. Have you ever thought about pizza maybe? How about something better than that?
Pizza is gonna take like half an hour. Are you kidding me? Obviously, we all know that barbecue is the move.
guys, hey, guys, let's check out Gorilla Crossing. I mean, Gorilla Crossing has hand-wrapped burritos and hot and ready pizzas and pastas, custom-crafted subs, and savory Kansas City barbecue. Wait, where'd everybody go?
Head on over to Gorilla Crossing for a variety of food options at student-friendly prices. And download the Gorilla Dining app for daily specials.
The Pitt State Gorillas would fall short to Upper Iowa Peacocks, losing their first game at the MIAA and SIC Conference Challenge last Friday. The Peacocks used a 26-9 run midway through the second half to overcome a 5-point deficit to win 73-62. The first half, the Gorillas would come out firing with a total of 33 points. The second quarter seemed to cause the Gorillas some trouble, with only putting up 26 points while the Peacocks put up a staggering 46 points. Christian Edmondson led the Gorillas with 19 points. The Gorillas would play one more game in the MIAA NSIC Conference Challenge against the Sioux Falls Cougars. The Pittsburg State Gorillas posted a hard-fought 62-55 victory over the Sioux Falls Cougars last Saturday. The Cougars would come out charging, putting up 27 points in the first half as Jan-Kobe Womack would lead the Gorillas in points with a total of 14. The Gorillas would come back fighting in the second half, putting up a total of 40 points, while the Cougars fell short, only putting up 28 points. The Gorillas will take on Baptist Bible College next Saturday, the 23rd, at John Lance Arena, as it's their first conference game of the season. Pittsburg State Gorillas posted a 96-78 season-opening victory over the Oklahoma Baptist Bisons last Friday in the MIAA GAC Conference Challenge at John Lance Arena. The Gorillas would be tied with the Bisons after the first quarter, as Athena Alvarado would lead the Gorillas with 33 points, a career best. The Bisons would come back in the second quarter, putting up a staggering 27 points, while the Gorillas would put up only 22 points. The Bisons would fall short to the Gorillas in the third quarter, only putting up 17 points, while the Gorillas would put up 25 points. The Gorillas would stay fighting in the fourth quarter, while the Gorillas would put up 26 points, while the Bisons would put up only 11 points. The Gorillas would play one more game in the MIAA GAC Conference Challenge against Southwestern Oklahoma. The Pittsburg State Gorillas dropped an 84-83 decision to number 20th Southwestern Oklahoma State Bulldogs in a wild final game of the MIAA GAC Conference Challenge last Saturday at John Lance Arena. The The Gorillas were tied with the Bulldogs in the first quarter at 23 apiece, but the Bulldogs would come out strong in the second quarter, taking the lead 45-40. Tristan Gegg led the Gorillas in points with a total of 28. The Gorillas would come out fighting in the third quarter, putting up 26 points, while the Bulldogs would only put up 20 points. The Gorillas could not hold the Bulldogs off in the fourth quarter, though, with the Bulldogs putting up 19 points, while the Gorillas only would put up 17 points. The Gorillas will take on Central Christian College this Saturday at 7 o'clock at John Lance Arena. The Pittsburg State Gorillas football team traveled to Topeka last Saturday to take on Washburn University, trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. The Gorillas came out fast with a 10-0 lead in the first quarter after a Brandon Malickas 9-yard touchdown run. The Gorillas would add to their lead as Lorenzo West would haul in a 40-yard touchdown pass from Matt Sexton, making it 17-7 midway through the second quarter. Washburn, though, would roar back, taking the lead after running back Curtis Witten scored on a 2-yard touchdown run to put the Ichabods up 21-17. Pitt State, though, closed out the half with another touchdown on a 10-yard run by running back Tyler Atkins as the Gorillas took a 24-21 halftime lead. Out of the break, PSU would score again on their opening drive after a Matt Sexton 5-yard touchdown run, extending the Gorilla lead 31-21. Washburn would roar back again, taking a 35-31 lead early into the fourth quarter as Taylor Peters scored on a 3-yard run. Washburn wouldn't look back from there as they would score 2 more times in the fourth quarter as Curtis Witten would finish the Gorillas off with a 6-yard touchdown run as the Gorillas fall 49-38 and have now lost 5 in a row, making the record 5-5 on the season. That's a look at sports. We'll be right back.
I've got a lot of things on my mind. Some things might make you laugh, some things might make you cry, some things might even compromise national security. Why is the internet so obsessed with cats? Hashtag dogs are better. Sorry, but it's true. I can't wait for my trip to Vegas this week, and hashtag Friday can't get here fast enough. Have a nice trip. I hate my job. My boss is such a Oh, crap.
On Tuesdays, locals participate in a tradition that is very well known but celebrated at different locations. Taco Tuesday is a once-a-week opportunity to host the best deals on tacos around town. But where to go is the question. Guadalajara is the most well-known spot for cheap eats, but restaurants such as El Caballo and Fifth Street Bar and Grill are also great options and fan favorites for Taco Tuesday. Other spots such as 311 and The Pit host Tuesdays as well. So next Thursday, get out there and try the taste of Tuesdays in Pittsburgh. That's it for this week's edition of Caps 13 News. I'm Jared Bush.
And I'm Libby Frazier. Have a great night, everybody.